What's up with you? For today's video, with a full never used Pokemon abilities team. These are some abilities that I picked out that are never used by anyone really in a Pokemon battle because they're either too difficult to use or they're just not very good at all, or the Pokemon has much better abilities at its disposal and that ability sort of gets forgotten. You could say this is a forgotten abilities team too. I was trying to figure out a good name for it. Now, I've got 4 battles today. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comment section what you think the most never used ability is, or some of them. You know, there's probably going to be some obvious ones like Honey Gather and etc. like that. So let me know. All right, first battle, this one against Lazar or Laser. I'm not really sure how to say that name. And we have a Entei lead. Now, this Ambipom is going to be a pickup ability set. Now, pickup ability is really, really difficult to actually even get to activate, and it's overall not that good. So what pickup does, if the Pokemon hasn't got a held item or anything, it actually finds one from the opposing Pokemon, but it's a little bit more involved than that. Basically what you need to do is you need to have no item at all, and the opposing Pokemon, for example, needs to have an item that can activate, say like a Pataya Berry that I just switch a route to the Typhlosion, and you need to have the Typhlosion activate that item, and then Pickup will activate at the end of the turn and either give you the berry to hold or activate it, depending on what the, for example, the Pataya Berry needs to activate at a much lower amount of health, at a quarter max health, compared to like a Citrus Berry. So in this case, I had to get Typhlosion down to like a quarter or less health, which I did. So I got the Pataya Berry to activate on the Typhlosion, which was good. This is more like a science, this team's almost like a science experiment. It really, really is. It's not a very good team, but it was really, really fun to use. So I got the Typhlosion down there. Pickup is going to be activating at the end of the turn. They also burned me, assuming I was running a physical set, which, most of them do. So I found the Pataya Berry, which is good, but I couldn't actually make use of it yet. So I thought, all right, well, I'll just go for a Shadow Ball again and faint the Typhlosion his way. But they swapped out and went back into Entei's. I'm like, that's not really going to do a lot of damage to me, to them at all. I don't know what sort of Entei set this is going to be, but I don't think I'm going to probably live like definitely any sort of like choice banded set. I'm going to have a lot of trouble. It might have extreme speed. I don't really know. So I'm going for Shadow Ball here. It's going to go for Fire Blast. So it's a special set. I lived the Fire Blast and it actually puts me in the range of a quarter or less health activating the Pataya Berry. So there you go. That's activating the pickup. What I did is I had to give my item away to the opponent. Then I had to get rid of the item with Fling, and that way it enabled me to force the opponent to use the item somewhat and get me to use it. So it was a very, very convoluted, difficult thing to pull off there. It could have been much easier with Citrus Berry, but you know me, I was like to take the not the easy route, right? So we got a nearly said a Donphan swapping. We got an Iron Tusk swapping, and I actually went for a Terra normal here, and I went for a Terra normal Hyper Beam. So like, this is going to do pretty good damage. I got max special attack and max speed, modest nature, and freemons.org is going to have a massive, massive tantrum. That is the baby bottle from a pickup Pataya Berry Ambipom. Where do these people come from? Oh my goodness. So, man, that only on PIMPNITE channel, I don't even know what else to say there, but they were absolutely salty. So that was an incredible first battle there, and a beautiful baby bottle to start this off with. So next battle, this one is against Zirkle, and we got your boy Clonky Zong as a lead here. So I thought, let's see if we can get this strategy to go ahead again. So the thing about this Bronzong is it seems to have hypnosis, so I'm a little bit worried about that. If it lands, I might not be able to get this to work. Also, it's a Blunder Policy Bronzong. So with Blunder Policy, Bronzong actually is faster than Ambipom, which is pretty funny, and that does a lot of damage to me. I'm going to be going for Shadow Ball here, and Shadow Ball actually does a good amount of damage to it, but unfortunately I got outsped there, so I didn't get my Ambipom pickup strategy to work. It was very, very difficult to get a Switcheroo, a Fling in the right health range, right? If you can consider how difficult that was. So I brought in my next Pokemon, Golurk. So Golurk has the ability Klutz. So not a lot of people use the Klutz ability. What exactly is the Klutz ability? Basically, the Pokemon's held item has no effects at all. And you can't even use Fling either. The only real item that you can actually use it, or a couple items like a Macho Brace, which is quite an interesting item. But in this case, I use Klutz Lagging Tail. So I wouldn't be affected by the Lagging Tail speed drop. And I could trick that item away onto other people. I actually had a couple of people even rage quit once I got the Lagging Tail from my Astonished Golurk. You know, it was absolutely beautiful. So I got a big root. There's nothing wrong with that. And I can go for Astonished. This is a flinching Golurk Lagging Tail set. Unfortunately, old cup of tea over there is going to take me out with a skull. You know, I spilled. Did I tell you about the story when I went through the drive-thru and I got like hot coffee spilled all over my nether regions? It was not fun. Anyway, back to the battle. So that's the Golurk set. It was max attack and max speed. We had Astonished, Rock Slide, and Zen Headbutt with a Lagging Tail. We had Adam and Nature. Next Pokemon. This is a real true PIMPNITE special, this set. Now, you're probably thinking, well, Limber's not all that bad, but on a Hawlucha, you're either going to use Unburden or Mold Break, right? You're probably going to use that a lot of the time. So, this is a pretty cool set. So, I've got Fling and Light Ball, so I'm deliberately paralyzing the opponent, and now I'm going to go Entrainment. So, the cool thing about Limber is, if you actually gain the Limber ability while you're paralyzed, it'll actually heal a paralyzed off, which is actually really cool. So, there you go. You may not have known that one. So, this set is like pure, like scientific experiment meme. The last move I got in there that's actually going to do some damage is going to be Acrobatics. The other move I had in there was Flying Press. And of course, the Limber ability, max attack and max speed, Jolly Nature. So there you go. So deliberately paralyzing the opponent, unparalyzing them, and using Acrobatics. So in comes a Beauty Noodle. Woo! And it's going to be going for a Dragon Dance as a physical set. And I think I might be able to get out sped here. I don't know about this. So it's going to use a Scale Shot, which is I think that's a new move that Milotic actually got. And I can see that it's most definitely a loaded dice set, and they're going to roll 4 instead of 5, which is pretty unlucky because that next one definitely would have taken out my Hawlucha. That's going to give Milotic another speed burst there. Acrobatics is going to be enough to take out the Beauty Noodle. It's like you could have like this is a really good thing. You should listen to this Game Freak and Nintendo. You should do like one of those pool noodles, but a Milotic, right? That'd be fire. Out comes Gen 4 Squavwat. It's going to go for a Disrespect Terror Blast, and that is going to be the end of the Hawlucha. But yeah, as you're watching this video, think about abilities that aren't actually, you know what? I know it's easy to say like Honey Gather, things like that, but how about an ability that actually works in battle that isn't used at all? Let me know. Next Pokemon is going to be Dodrio. This is a Tangled Feet Dodrio. Now, once again, this is a pretty cool ability, but very, very hard to actually implement and carries a lot of risk at the same time. So Tangled Feet actually gives you evasiveness, a double in evasiveness when you're confused, but it only works while you're confused. So how do you get this to happen? Well, there's a couple. The best way to try and get this to happen is the move Thrash. So Thrash gives you a confusion between 2 to 3 turns. Also, I thought you could induce a confusion on yourself using a Substitute, for example, and then using Substitute and getting a berry that'll confuse you. In this case, I'm using a Wiki Berry, and I've got Adam and Nature, max speed and max attack. So when the Wiki Berry is activated, if you've got a negative special attacking nature, it'll confuse you. So you don't have to actually go for the Thrash to activate the confusion. Now, I got a couple of misses here, which is pretty cool, and then I was going for Thrash behind the Substitute. So the idea was I could miss behind the Substitute, like moves were missing me, and then I could go for Thrash. Obviously, it's extraordinarily risky because you could easily just hit yourself in confusion and never ever attack. So that's a main reason why Tangle Feet, is never going to be used at all. So we got a, wait, I went out to the shopping store. I went into the shopping store, and I went out of the shopping store. It was nice time. I looked around and I was like, where'd my car go? Here it is. So we got a nice shiny Macargo. Now, I've only got Thrash. It still does good damage for it, considering it's not very effective. And Macargo is going to be able to, if it lands an attack on me, it's going to be able to easily feint me, because I'm sure it's got like some sort of super effective rock move. So it's going to have a weak armor and a white herb to get rid of that drop to, and it's going to lay a smackdown on my Substitute, so that's going to land as well. Now, the other move I had on Dodrio, which I thought was pretty cool, was Aqua Pressure too. So maybe I could randomly get some evasion on top of already having that ability too. But a pretty cool set. I actually want to try and get a sweep with this Dodrio set. It has promise, but you have to be so lucky, when you get those misses or confusion and stuff like that. Next Pokemon is going to be Swanna. Swanna has the ability Big Pecs. Now, this is more of like an ability that you won't see unless the opponent deliberately tries to drop your defense. So Big Pecs prevents another Pokemon lowering your defensive stage, but it's just never ever used really. It's really something that's not used. There's normally always a better ability to actually pick it. So I went for Whirlpool. It was a Roost Featherdance Whirlpool Alluring Voice set, Terra Water. In this case, I was thinking maybe I could go for a Terra here and live the smackdown, but it was doing a lot of damage. So I was curious whether or not I needed to, if I should even Terra here, but I only had one other Pokeball left. So I decided to go for the Terra. We got another Terra Smackdown. That is actually going to take out my Swanna. So I was... Maybe I shouldn't have terrored there, but maybe it had a chance because it wasn't super effective. He was quite defensive too. Next Pokemon, last Pokemon is Tiny Haxorus, and Haxorus has got the ability... we got Rivalry. So Rivalry is not a good ability. It's very chance in a Pokemon battle. So basically the Pokemon Haxorus attacks are going to do 1.25 times the same gender, but if it's the opposite gender, it's going to be 0.7 times. So... a lot of the time you're finding you'll be doing like less damage, and yeah, it's very unpredictable and something you can't you can't really control, right? So this is a complete critting special set on your PIMPNITE channel here. We got Draco Meteor, Focus Mist, Terra Blast, and Focus Energy. Scope Lens as the item, max special attack and max speed, modest nature. So out comes Unpheasant. Oh, I don't mean Unpheasant, the other turkey. And I'm going to get that Focus Energy up here. Unfortunately, it did outspeed me and it took me out with a disrespect, disarming voice. That's the end of the battle. So I hope you enjoyed some of these Pokemon abilities in action. That's my main goal of this video, to show off these abilities. All right, we got battle number 3 here. Now this battle, I actually got the most of my abilities to even work, which was pretty cool. So this is a battle against Super Bowser, and we have a Pyroar lead. Now this Ambipom is, mostly my lead in a lot of teams I use. I always try to get that Potato Berry first. So in comes Archaludon, and I'm going to go for a switcheroo here. So at this point too, I also sort of toyed around having Substitute over Fling, so I could maybe swap the item off after the Potato Berry was activated, but I found it wasn't as good as having Fling and just getting rid of the item there. So this is a Stamina Metal Burst set. Now, this would have been okay if I didn't get a special defense drop on Shadow Ball, because I actually did a lot more damage that turn. And, the Metal Burst is going to be enough to actually take me out of it. So Ambipom, I'd say Ambipom was probably definitely the hardest one to get that, to activate, you know what I mean? If I had Citrus Berry, it would have been a lot easier, but I didn't want to do that. That was going to be much easier. So out goes the Archaludon, in comes the Hawlucha, and in comes Dialga. So I'm like, I don't know what I can really do to this, but at least I can paralyze it, right? So we're going to go for a Fling here against the Dialga. We're going to paralyze that one. The quality damage there, look at that. And it's got a leftovers as the item, so it's going to be it's going to be healing that all that damage back, that massive damage from Light Ball, So we got that we got that, which is good. I guess Entrainment is good for getting rid of like abilities too, so it's not bad. Like Pressure isn't all that scary, but sometimes in some battles where I use this Hawlucha, I sort of got rid of I had to obviously fling the item first, otherwise, it wouldn't affect it, but I could get rid of some good abilities. So this is pretty funny. So I got paralyzed. Well, I attempt to paralyze me, but it didn't work due to Limber ability. So, I mean, Limber ability, out of all these ones, I felt like it was probably the best one, like the most used one, but I felt like on Hawlucha, it wasn't. So, so we got this resting Dialga, and that is going to be going to sleep. So I don't really know what I can do to this. I mean, Acrobatics is going to do nothing. Flying Press did donkeys. So we're going to go into Micro Haxorus. Look at the size of it. It's like an ant. Anterus. That's right. I've used this before. I like using this Anterus. So we're going to go for that Focus Energy there. I can go for Draco Meteor or a Focus Mist. So like Focus Mist is going to, this should drop it in like 2 shots. Easy. Like, I don't know what sort of investment this has. I'm assuming it's bulk. So I went for Focus Miss, it's going to miss. It really surprised me so much. Now Dialga is going to go for a Dragon Claw. It's a physical set. Almost took me out. So close. Now the Dialga got off scot-free. It didn't take any damage at all. And now the Pyroar is going to come coming. It's like, all right, well, this is good if it lands, and it didn't land. I was like, oh, God, I missed two. I potentially could have missed, like, two one-hit KOs there. So Pyro went for... Wait a second, I think this is Rivalry. Yo, this could be, yeah, this is the Rivalry one. So I went for a Rivalry Focus Blast here on the Pyro, and that was actually... Yeah, that was actually 1.2 times damage there. So no way Pyro was living that. That Trailblaze was very, very overconfident there. Trying to make me salty with that. Next Pokemon is going to be Sneasler. I mean, I've got Dracomina. It's going to clap them Antorus cheeks and take me up. That's fine. At least it did something, right? Next Pokemon's Golurk. I've got Lagging Tail, and I really want to put it on this thing. But Sneasler uses Switcher. I'm like, oh, come on. So the item that I got was a serving of leftovers, right? And I wanted to give Sneasler a serving of Lagging Tail, but it didn't work out. So virtually we just swapped our items around. So I'm like, do I go for Switcheroo the next turn, or do I start attacking? I really need to give this thing some sort of an item, right? So I went for Dire Claw, and of course the first Dire Claw pulled me to sleep. So I'm like, this is going so well, you know. So Golurk is currently sleeping at the moment. It's having a nice nap. Here comes another Dire Claw. It seems it doesn't have a lot of moves to hit me with, so I'm just going to keep Golurk in. That's going to be my best bet in. Maybe, give the Lagging Tail back on the swap. Then we got the Archaludon coming in. So there is not a lot I can do to Archaludon. As you know, it's got stamina. So I only really have, Astonish? So I was like, yeah, I got to swap that out and go with the Hawlucha. I'll at least have to get some sort of damage on this. So it's going to go for a Hard Press. Hard Press is based off the amount of health you got left, so that didn't fade me. And what I did is I got rid of the stamina with Entrainment. I thought that could be helpful. So at least when I went for Flying Press, it wouldn't get, defensive boost. So now we've got the Archaludon going for Electroshock here. Now, I was a little bit... I was a little bit worried that Hawlucha wouldn't finish the job off with Flying Press, so I went back into Golurk. So I thought that'd be a good idea. That way, Electroshock, it won't affect me because I'm a ground type, and that'll give me a free swap. So then I did a trick here. So I thought maybe I just want to get rid of this Lagging Tail, right? It's not affecting me, but I just want to give it away. So I gave the Lagging Tail to Archaludon, and I got a Potato Berry. So that's fine. It's going to use Leer. I was like, oh, if only I had my Swanner in there, because if the opponent uses Leer, Leer's actually one of the few moves that will drop my defense, Big Pex would have activated. So all right, I'm going to try and, I almost was so tempted then to swap my Swanner, but I wanted to get that Astonish KO. So we're going to go for Astonish again. I'm trying to get that 30% flinch. It's not working, and Metal Burst took me out. So come on. not a lot of things are going my way this battle. So that's the end of Golurk. We're going to go back into Hawlucha. Obviously now it's got a little bit of health. I'll just finish it off with the Flying Press. Oh, that was a brutal hit. So that is the end of the stapler I used in Grade 2. So we got another Pokemon down, which is good. Next Pokemon is going to be Sneasler. Now Sneasler's going to go for Fake Out. I know that it's got it, but I thought I should just be able to live that. Now I'm going to go for Acrobatics. That's going to be the end of Sneasler, which is good. That's quite a scary Pokemon. Very fast, and Dire Claw is a pretty powerful move. So in comes Dialga. Now I still haven't really figured out what I'm going to do to this thing at all. I went for Flying Press. It's doing absolutely nothing. So for the purposes of this video too, I know that Dialga has got leftovers. I pretty much just canned the animation of leftovers because it just went for ages, right? So just remember it's got leftovers. So I'm going to go into Swanner now. I'm going to try and get some form of damage against this. So I've whirlpooled it in, and it's going to go for Rest again. So I notice it doesn't have anything like Sleep Talk. So I cannot possibly do anything to this at all with my Swanner. I've got Alluring Voice on there too. The reason I put Alluring Voice on Swanner is maybe the opponent would try and rise their stats against a bulky build, and then I could get that confusion. But that was most of the time that was wishful thinking. You normally got one shot. So I'm going to bring in Dialga disappeared in space and time then, and I went for the Acro Pressure. So I'm going to try and get some stat boost up here while this Dialga is going to sleep. Dialga's going to be swapping out into Illumis, the unit. So I'm wondering what this will actually do. So I went for Acro Pressure here. I'm trying to get maybe some attack boost, and I got an evasion. Thunder Wave actually misses, which is pretty cool. So I went for another Acro Pressure. I probably should have gone for sub there, but since I got that up, I was like, I don't regret doing that at all, because the Illumis used Confuse Ray. So my ability that got activated by a Parafusion Pokemon, which was quite good, except I didn't get paralyzed, so I got like the benefit. Unfortunately, as you can see with the Tangled Feet ability, it's still not that good because you can hit yourself with Confusion. So I was hitting myself with Confusion on the first one, then I got a Thrash off on a Loomis, which is pretty cool. This is like a bulky set, so I was quite surprised that a Live Thrash coming from our Adam and Dodgery. So now a Loomis is gonna look at the moon and it's gonna get healed. So that's most of its health back. I'm hoping that I don't hit myself with Confusion because that could be very, very bad. And I managed to get a second Thrash off, so that's the end of a Loomis. I was very happy I took out a Loomis in a children's game of Pokemon. Now the next one's gonna be this Duraludon. Oh wait, there's an Archaludon and a Duraludon. I'm getting very confused here. I actually need to do a Archaludon and a Duraludon team. I actually haven't done that. I should do that. So I hit myself a Confusion, and of course it's going to be a Steel Beam set. No way Dodrio is living that one. And at least it took away half its health, but it is what it is. All I've got left now is the mighty, ginormous Swanna. And watch this, it used Leer and my Big Pecs activated. So that's probably one of the few times you're going to see Big Pecs even activated. So I just went for Alluring Voice. It did donkeys, and now we've got this, I don't even know what this Dialga is. What is it? Thunderwave, Dragon Claw, Rest. What even is it? I'm guessing it's definitely it's got physical EVs, due to my my Haxorus being nearly one-shotted. So I'm definitely thinking it's max attack. So this battle, as you can probably imagine here, was getting up around the 20. Oh, the other move is Swift. What is going on? So the other move that I was trying to get like some damage here and maybe try and force out a rest or a swap, but I couldn't do a lot here, as you can imagine. So what I did with the Dialga and Swanna matchup, it was going to the 20-minute timer. This Dialga was like complete stall, basically. We got down to 2 minutes. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go for a Terra Water. I'm going to try and get some more damage on this Whirlpool because we ain't doing enough damage. This is a very, very passive Swanna set. Unfortunately, I wish I had something like, Toxic or some way of damaging this passively too, or some more damage. It couldn't really do a lot of damage to me too because I had Roost. So I was hoping maybe Duraludon would come in so I could try and feint that. Because as you know, the person with the more Pokemon, or if you got the same amount of Pokemon, the more amount of health, wins the battle once the 20-minute timer is up there. Which of course I absolutely hate the 20-minute timer. So Dialga's going to go for a spin number 69 there. We got 58 seconds left in this battle. I'm getting hit hard by a Swift Dialga. You're probably never going to hear that again. I'm getting its health down here, so I'm guessing they're going to try and feint me before the end of the battle. So I'm spamming Alluring Voice. I'm getting hit by Swift. I almost took Dialga out there. It was so close. We had this freaking animations right though. This animation, so we had the leftovers animation on the Dialga, and then we had the leftovers animation on the Swanna there. So I'm like, all right, one more move before I can pick the Dialga. Come on, let me pick this. Then it got free from the Whirlpool. I pressed the A button and guess it's a Roost, and the timer freaking ran out and I lost the battle. I was like, I wouldn't take out that Dialga, but that is the end of the battle there. I hope you enjoyed that battle. I feel like that battle showed off like almost nearly all of my abilities, which was pretty cool. Last battle here we got today. This one is against Lychee, and we got a theme team here as well. I wonder if you can guess what it is. If you're enjoying yourself so far, people, make sure you hit that like button, and that supports the channel a lot there. And make sure you give me a comment on what ability you think is never used or forgotten. So this Bishop was a problem because it had Everlight. So I'm like, okay, I got rid of it. That's really good. And my poor Ambipom, I want to say this. My Ambipom only got to get that strategy off once with the Potato Berry, and that happened in that very first battle with the Rage Quit. That's the only time I got that to work. It was so difficult to even get that to happen. So I went to Hawlucha, I went for the Flying Press, and it's also Guillotine and Metal Burst. So yeah, that's a third of my team already disintegrated. So I'm thinking, man, I gotta rise up here. So I went to Haxorus, and I'm hoping that I don't get hit by Guillotine again. I have to get Focus Energy up, though. Like, if I don't get that up, it's going to be very, very bad, because you got to get it up. So now we got the Bishop going to sleep here. So, like, this must be... I reckon this is a Rest, Sleep, or Guillotine Metal Burst. That's 100% what I believe it is. So I went for the Focus Miss, and that is actually going to put the Bishop permanently to sleep, which is very, very good. So we've got 100% crit on that. So bye-bye Bishop. Now, the next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Misdreavus. I dropped that Draco there on Misdreavus, and it's very, very bulky, obviously. And, it's a special Haxorus, so let's be real. So, this is going to use Perish Song. So, it's like a bulky Parasong set. So it hasn't trapped me in yet. I was like, yeah, look, I could swap out here, but I want to see if it's got any forms of recovery. So I went for Draco Mina again, and I almost took it out. The great thing about critting continually there is you don't, with the special attack drops, they're ignored. So it went for Pain Split. So we got 2 more turns of the Parasong. I was like, you know what? If it has a trapping move this turn, I'm still going to, be able to take it out easy. But my last Draco Meteor missed, and they managed to get the mean look up. So now my Haxorus can no longer escape at all. That's the last turn of the Parasong for both Pokemon. So obviously Misdreavus is going to swap out there. I was like, all right, well, the next Pokemon is going to take some pretty good damage here, and that is going to be Rhyperior. That's actually a pretty good pick for Rhyperior. I would have done that too. So Rhyperior get hit by Draco Meteor, but it's got some bulk about it, that's for sure. So Haxorus is going to be fainting, and yeah, it is what it is, right? I didn't really want to swap out after I got the focus energy and everything up. So I went into Swan here, and now we're going to Terra Rhyperior. So I went for Whirlpool here. I thought, well, I might be able to get the Whirlpool KO, but definitely not if it's going to be Rhyperior with Terra Bug. So I was kind of curious what this move that it was going to actually have. So I went first, got the Whirlpool off. Obviously, it's going to do no damage now that it's now a bug type. And it had a Horndrill. I'm like, oh, come on. Oh, my big pecs can't do anything about that. So that is the end of Swaller. This is looking very, very bad now. I've only got 2 Pokemon. Something has to happen here. I gotta rise up to the challenge. So firstly, I'm gonna go for Trick. I want to get rid of Lagging Tail. That's not a very fun item to have. Well, it doesn't affect me, but I thought it'd be good for the opponent. So I gave it Lagging Tail. I got an Assault Vest. So that's actually pretty good. So now it's gonna use Dragon Tail. So Dragon Tail is gonna phase my Golurk out of this battle. But I got a good, I got a pretty good item there. So next Pokemon is gonna be Dodrio. So I thought, all right. I have to do something here. I've got to do something. So I went for Thrash, almost took it out, but I had to activate that Confusion. So the thing about one-hit KO moves is they ignore that evasion too. So I just attacked it straight off. So I was lucky the Horn Drill missed there. I mean, they were lucky they got a Guillotine and a Horn Drill, so I was happy with that. So next Pokemon here is going to be Misdreavus, like I knew it would. So I was like, all right, the best move I can use here is the Throat Chop. Because the good thing about Throat Chop is it will actually prevent Parasong, because Parasong is a sound-based move, so that was absolute perfection there. So I went for the Throat Chop again, and that was enough to take out the Misdreavus. So finally I got rid of a couple of Pokemon there. So Dodrio is attempting to clutch me back into the game. Now the next one is going to be Scarlet. It's like, oh, this is another Pokemon I could potentially use the Throat Chop again. And it was good because I wasn't getting hit by the Confusion at all. It was really nice. I activated the weak armor on Scarlet, so it's going to be able to outspeed me in the next turn. And then went for Flame Charge, and Flame Charge missed due to Tangled Feet. So that was really cool. I got a double miss in a row there on Flame Charge. Very lucky. Then I snapped out a Confusion. Wow, that was incredibly lucky. So I guess that makes up for the one-hit KO moves, right, landing. So that's the end of Sarah Ledge. We've got 2 Pokemon left. Suddenly this battle is even again. And we have, of course, Armorogue. So I thought, let's set up the sub. I want to see what move it's going to use here. Now, interesting enough, it uses Flame Charge as well. So it's going to be boosting its speed. So like, all right, maybe I could go for the Thrash here. I was trying to get my Wiki Berry to activate at the same time too. So it's going to get a speed rise. Now it's going to go for Flame Charge again. That does a lot of damage. Unfortunately, it doesn't activate my my berry. See how it just missed it? So that was kind of unlucky. I was hoping for that to get that heal back and then have the Confusion. Unfortunately, Dodrio is going to faint there. So maybe I should have just Thrash from the start. Anyway, so some damage there for the Flare Blitz. Next Pokemon's Golurk. I've got an Assault Vest here. I thought, well, I'll go for Astonish, and then they pulled out the Destiny Bond at the end. So they've got 1 more Pokemon left. I'm going to go for Astonish, and I was hoping that it didn't actually faint it, but I knew it would. And that is going to be the end of the Armorogue and, of course, the Golurk. And that is also the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed all the battles. Maybe you learned something new. If you did, drop a like on the video. I'll catch you tomorrow. Should be a new upload tomorrow too. Peace out.